that gal from the diner with a suitcase by the door wants a bob like a movie star, can't look like before. She's skipping out on trouble, leaving a note that says I'm free. And a final transformation, honey, starts right here with me. Yeah, it all starts right here with me. I snip away the sadness, I shape a brand new pride. With every lock that hits the floor, a piece of her old life dies. She wants it sleek and modern, something the wind won't touch. She needs to be a ghost, darling, and I help her just so much. I help her just so much. Setting spray and lies, honey, and a little bit of hair. I'm the launching pad for trouble in this old vinyl chair. I prep the penitent, the cheater and the thief. My final touch is all they need for joy or for grief. I'm the last good woman that they'll meet for their relief. Oh yeah. Came in here asking just the other day. I said I just do hair, sir, I got nothing left to say. But my mirror holds the evidence of every desperate flight. I just sweep it up at closing time and turn out the blue light. Setting spray and lies, honey, and a little bit of hair. I'm the launching pad for trouble in this old vinyl chair. I prep the penitent, the cheater and the thief. My final touch is all they need for joy or for grief. I'm the last good woman that they'll meet, that they'll meet. Strongest ghost ain't from the past, it's from what might have been. A sticker made of could have beens that I can't let out the wind. It sits down in that empty chair with a smile I've never seen, and tells me all the stories of the life that's never been, that's never ever been. It's heavier than memory, it's sharper than old pain. It's the wedding that was never planned, the child without a mate. Forever guess this feelings would just grow a new and different shape instead. So I leave it bare and face it, it's monument to yet. The hardest kind of empty, the one you never met. Oh, the pattern of what's to come is breaking my heart in two. Not for a love I've lost idea, but for a love that never grew. This empty space is counting with a life I'll never lead. And the man who isn't in that chair is the only one I need. The only one for this empty shell. I set the lamp just right last night to paint his profile in the light. Upon the wall, a masterpiece, a gentle giant bringing peace, a gentle giant. But when he moved to kiss my cheek, the angle changed, the spell grew weak. I saw the man, not just the line, the restless eye, the stray mind, and wished for back that bold design. I'm in love with a portrait in lamplight, a two-dimensional perfect night, a flat silhouette so stark and true, and not the man I wake up to, no, not the man I wake up to. I gave my heart to a shape of shade, a beautiful mistake I've made. He asked me, darling, where's your mind? I say, oh, nowhere, honey, never mind. I'm looking past him at the wall, where my shadow lover stands so tall and never lets me down at all. I'm in love with a portrait in lamplight, a two-dimensional perfect night, a flat silhouette so stark and true, and not the man I wake up to, no, not the man I wake up to. I gave my heart to a shape of shade, a beautiful mistake I've made. Yes, a beautiful mistake. I've made, yes, a beautiful mistake. Well, the bell jingles when another client walks right in. Eyes are flashing lightning with a sly and wicked grin. She says, Lucille, I need a glue that's sharp enough to kill. I got a date with vengeance and a score I need to settle still. gonna pay her bill. I reach for my shears, honey, the sharpest pair I own. This ain't your time for pink curls. There's a woman set in stone. I give her finger waves like blades, the silhouette so fine, a look that says revenge, darling. And tonight you're gonna be mine. Tonight that man is out of time. It's the razor's edge boogie, the snip, snip, stomp. I style the dames, the furious aims, while my hot cone gets hot. They come in mad and sticky, and they leave cool as ice. My beauty shop's the first stop on the road to paying the price. So book your appointment, sugar, and take my good advice. She checks her lipstick lethal in my mirror, silver face. A final touch of perfume, and she takes her rightful place out into the meow, where the night is waiting deep. And all I do is sweep the hair from secrets I must keep. The serration's edge boogie, the step, step, stomp. I style the dames with furious aims, while my hot cone gets hot. They come in mad and stick, and they leave cool as ice. My beauty shop's the first stop on the road to paying the price. Boogie on out, my boogie on. The sun was low, the light was gold. A story in the dusk was told. He stood there tall against the fire and said, my foolish heart, a while. Oh yes, he said, my heart, a while. But when he turned to face the night, it wasn't him that caught my light. It was the shadow, long and lean, the prettiest shape I'd ever seen, the darkest, finest shape I'd seen. I'm singing to a silhouette, a debt of love I can't forget. I gave my heart to a shade so deep, a promise that the light can't keep. I love the shadow that he cast, a love I know was never meant to last. They bring me sunshine, bring me rain, but it's the echo down the hall that truly makes me lose my all. That ghostly sound that makes me fall. I sing into a silhouette or dead of love I can't forget. I gave my heart to a shade so deep, a promise that the light can't keep. I love the shadow that he casts, a love I know was never meant to last. His flesh and bone, with faults and ways that are his own, but his dark twin upon the wall never argues, never falls at all. I'm crying to a silhouette, forget. I gave my heart to a shade so deep, a promise that the light can't keep. I love the shadow that he cast, but the morning sun is gonna break this spell at last. Chair number 3, secrets curl like smoke. She wants to shake all innocence for a dangerous joke. I mix the dye in silence. I know the man she'll meet. My hands shape every curl around her plan so sweet. Yes, my hands set the scene for her deceit. The scissors whisper promises, the rollers set the light. I paint a brand new woman beneath this fluorescent sky. She pays me extra, tells me make it so he can't forget. But the memory she's making is one he'll come to regret. Oh, he'll surely come to regret. I'm the last touch of mercy, the final glance in the glass, before the dice start rolling, before the hourglass. I don't judge the story, I just style apart. I set the hair for heartbreak with these old hands and this heart. I'm the sinner's beautician, and I know how it starts. Some tears fall in the shampoo bowl, some smiles are razor keen. I've seen 100 new girls in this old barber scene. They leave here looking lethal, or like angels from above, but they all pass through these fingers, fueled by hate or love. I'm the last touch of mercy, the final glance the story I just style apart. I set the air for heartbreak with these old hands and this heart. I'm the sinner's beautician. Chair number 3 knows what you're gonna be. You look for answers in a book or a star, but my wisdom never traveled that far. It's in the blisters on my palm, in the harvest weather, calm or storm. Yeah, the harvest weather. I don't get down on my knees to plead. I get down on my knees to plant the seed. My amen is when the first shoot grows. That's the only truth my spirit knows. The only truth, 'cause a giving ground, it don't lie to you. It'll take your work and see it through. It'll take your tears, your sweat, your pain, and give you back the sun and rain. From bone and dirt, the sun and rain. My skin is leather from the sun's own brush. My heart's in rhythm with the evening hush. When I'm too tired for another round, I feel my roots deep in the giving ground, deep in the giving ground. 'Cause the giving ground, it don't lie to you. It'll take your work and see it through. It'll take your tears, your sweat, your pain, and give you back the sun and rain. Oh, from bone and dirt, the sun and rain. From bone and dirt, the sun and rain. From bone and dirt, the sun and rain. She slinks in smelling of jasmine and deceit. Once henna on her hands, a pattern bold and neat. For a wedding that ain't hers, with a man she shouldn't hold. I trace the lines of danger in maroon and gold. Oh, in maroon and gold. My brush is like a pen riding on her skin. A scripture for a sin she's just about to begin. The paste smells sweet and ancient, it stains a lasting mark. a map for in the dark, a signal for the spark, a signal for the spark. In my chair they confess with every single strand the lies they're gonna tell to some poor foolish man. I paint the mask they wear for the Saturday night ball. I'm the one who sees the crack behind the fancy wall. The beautician knows the truth and sees the sinners fall. The sinners fall. In my chair they confess with every single strand the lies they're gonna tell to some poor foolish man. I'll paint the mask they wear for the Saturday night ball. I'm the one who sees a crack behind the fancy wall. The beautician knows the truth. In a dries, the light sets in. The night begins. I set the table every night for one and one that's maybe there. A second cup of coffee cools in the quiet evening air. It ain't a ghost of love that's gone, it's a ghost of love that never came. And what could be is calling out a different, sweeter name, a sweeter, different name. That chair by the window waits so patient with its worn out velvet sigh for a man who never found the road or never chose to try. I don't hear echoes in this room of arguments or old sweet talk, just the deafening quiet of a door that forgot to unlock. Yeah, a door that never got to unlock. I've got the blues for an empty chair, a silhouette that never was, a future lost, a simple doubt of a cause that never does. It's not the past that haunts me, honey, it's the what if and the why, staring at that vacant spot beneath the same old lonesome sky. This empty chair blue. Some folks grieve for a memory, a photograph they can't touch. But how you gonna mourn a dream you never needed much? Just a space beside you at the table, in the movie, in the car, missing weight that leaves this empty space right where you are. I've got the blues for an empty chair, a silhouette that never was, a future lost, a simple doubt, or because that never does. It's not the past that haunts me, honey, it's the what if and the why, staring at that vacant spot beneath the same old lonesome sky. This empty chair this empty chair blue. I do the passenger seat shuffle, driving all alone in town, moving my purse, my market bag, just to weigh the cushion down. It ain't a memory sitting there, there's some man who rode and fled. It's a company I ordered up, but it stayed inside my head. Yeah, it stayed right in my head. I catch myself looking sideways, ready to tell a joke or point. Had a silly sign of sunset, but I'm the only one in this joint. The radio play love songs for the ones who hold a hand. Mine just rests upon the wheel for a destination I don't understand, don't understand. I got the empty chair blues in the front seat of my car, a vacancy for maybe someday, but someday seems so far. I'm not missing his cigar smoke or the arguments we brew. I'm missing conversations that I never got to start with you. Whoever you were gonna be with your empty, empty part. The mechanic said she runs fine for a lady all alone. I said the engine's not what's heavy, it's the silence that has grown. It fills up all the space beside me, a solid, quiet thing, the ghost of every Sunday drive that never learned to sing. I got the empty chair blues in the front seat of my car, a vacancy for maybe someday, but someday seems so far. I'm not missing his cigar smoke or the arguments we'd brew. I'm missing conversations that I never got to start with you. My grandma whispered by the well a story she was bound to tell. It ain't the water cool and sweet that gives our weary hearts their beat. No, no, it ain't that sweet. She said the first one cast a stone for a love that was never her own, and down it sank into the clay, and we've been drinking it every day. Yes, drinking it every day. The well is deep, the water's black, it bows the daughter's tender backs. We drink the sorrow, sip the rue, 'cause that's what all the women this thirsty inherited blues. We cup our hands and take our fill of an old, unforgotten ill. I try to sweeten it with gin to keep the old ghost out within. But when the moon is thin and high, I hear that first one's lonesome cry, that echoing lonesome cry. The well is deep, the water's black, it bows the daughter's tender backs. We drink the sorrow, sip the root, 'cause that's what all the women do. This thirsty inherited blues. We cup our hands and take our fill of an old, unforgotten ill. I poured out sugar, I poured out wine, tried to break that bitter line. But when I dream, my throat is dry, and I go back to that well and sigh. You see the peeling billboard for the old motor court. They see a sad old eyesore of a forgettable sort. I see a masterpiece of fading, pink and crackling blue, a story of the travelers and the dreams they drove on through. In 55 they see the silver in my neighbor's hair. They whisper old and past their prime and think it isn't fair to look like that. I see a crown of wisdom bright and fine, each strand a better one, a sipped glass of good wine. From the vintage of the years they call it fading, call it decline. I call it a slow burn, a more enduring design than a quick flash. A slow burn warms you to the bone. A slow burn has a character uniquely its own. It's not for everyone, it's for the strong, the ones who see that rust is a color too, and it's the color of being free from the tyranny of new. Yeah, this ain't fading, it's a slow burn, a different kind of fire for which the young ones yearn but don't yet understand. It's a glow, not a blaze. It lights the path of memory in 100 subtle ways. Rust is a color in this slow burn palette, rich and deep. It's the color of a promise that a soul will keep to itself, to get wiser, to get softer, to get true, to trade the shout and scarlet for a burgundy or hue of copper green. This ain't fading, it's transformation. It's the poetry of age across a mighty nation, of one woman's face in slow burn. My garden doesn't bloom with blooms all perfect in a row. It's got some brownish lilies and a rose that's growing slow and sideways, but the bees, they love it, and the scent is mixing wild with earth and decay and life, like a reconciled argument with time. The paint on my front door is chipping. It shows the primer in the wood, a subtle slow unwrapping of its history. I like it, it's a door that's lived, it's been through summers hot and winters cold, and it will let me in, still faithfully, with a creak that's like a welcome home. Not the silent, slick and perfect swipe of shiny chrome on a new one. That's of things that earn their beauty at a steady, gentle pace and hold it without strain. Yeah, this ain't fading, it's a slow burn, yeah. So bring on the weather, bring on the patina, bring on the softening of what once was much keener and harder. I'm becoming a landscape, a river valley deep, not a sharp young piercing mountain where the cold winds sweep. I'm a slow burn sunset lasting for an hour. I'm a well-loved book that gains its power from the dog ears and the notes and the margins. See, that's the beauty, that's the color, that's the real me in slow burn. Oh, this ain't sweet, oh, it's a slow burn. This ain't fading, it's a slow burn. Can't you feel the heat? It's the rhythm of a heart that will not admit defeat. The time, it's the rust on the train tracks, it's the moss on the scone. It's the rich, deep color that a soul can call its own. After years, rust is a color and it's mine to wear, a badge of slow burn, living without care for what's in. I'm in my prime of patina and grace. Watch me set this slow burn world on fire with my pace. My slow, my burn, my color, my rust out there slow. It's a slow burn, slow glow, rust, color, trust in the slow burn. You think it's just a melody, a story set to rhyme. You tap your foot and sip your drink and bide your little time. But when I open up my mouth, it ain't just air that flows, something older than the river, something everybody knows. But can't name, I don't just sing the blues, I weave them into the fabric of this barroom. And I truly do believe I'm under B and C, that couple in the corner, fixing for a fight. Watch this, now they're holding hands so tight. In the silence, see the dust outside, a month of drought and pain. Listen, now you hear the welcome rain on the tin roof. It ain't a trick, it's a terrible true fact. My voice is the bind that can seal a pact or break it. Yeah, my voice is the bind, the hook, the snare, the spell. I can make a man remember a heaven or a hell he never knew. I can sing a note so low and deep and long, it'll make the old oak outside shed its leaves in a wrong season. I can trill a phrase so light it'll lift a baby's cry right out the window, send it soaring to a clear and empty sky. It's a power and it scares me every time I take the stage. I'm not just a singer, honey, I'm a woman of a certain age, and a certain curse, a certain gift. My voice is the bind, and I'm forever trying to see what I might find or lose when I let it loose. I sang a man to sleep once who hadn't slept in years. I sang away the ghosts that were feeding on his fears. In the attic of his mind, he woke up new. He called me sane, but I saw the terror in his eyes, the color growing faint. Of his own will, he was bound to me in gratitude and fright, and I had to sing a different song to set his future right. To cut the tie, it's exhausting, this calmness with the air. This knowing that the very notes I shape with so much care can shape a life or end one with a discord sharp and flat. I could sing a hate so pure, it kill a man where he sat. I never do, but I know I could. That's the weight I bear, my voice is the bind, and I must sing with care, or not at all. Yeah, my voice is the bind. Sometimes I wish I had an ordinary voice, just pretty plain and sweet, to sing for tips and supper and the stomping of the feet on the floor. But this voice, it's a creature with a mind and will of its own. It knows things I don't know, it goes places I've never flown. In my body it's a load of stone, it's a ley line made of sound. And when I let it out, I know I'm on consecrated ground that I made with a melody. It's a consecration, a curse to hold a thunderstorm, or a blessing in my purse for the throat. So when I sing tonight, don't just listen with your ear, listen with your soul, for what you might hold dear might shift or change or strengthen or disappear. My voice is the bind, and you are volunteering to be bound for 3 minutes by this sound. My voice, my voice, my voice, my voice. Mind, void, voice, choice, silence. Yeah. Forget the black cat bone, the rabbit's foot, the sack of goo for dust. My roots and my conjure in something you can trust. It's real, this microphone is my mojo hand. When I wrap my fingers round it, I command this band in this room and the world outside for a block in either way. My voice is the bind that makes the night turn into day. In your mind I can sing a sunrise into a sinner's soul. I can sing a harvest from a field as black as coal. With doubt I've done it, I've seen the changes with my own 2 eyes. When I pour my power out under these neon skies. It's a fact, I used to fear it, used to try to make it small. Now I understand the purpose, I can hear the mighty calling the muse. It's not for me to hide, it's for me to use, to shake the loose and the confused out of their blues and into a different kind of bind of strength of might, to make the wrong things right or to shed a truthful light on the wrong. Yeah, this microphone is my mojo hand. I point it and I sing, and the very walls of this old juke start to ring with power. My voice is the bind that ties the broken back together, that pulls a soul through stormy or through sunny weather. At my will I can bind a man to his better nature. I can bind a lie to fail, I can bind a promised future into being. It's a gift from the river and the mud from every woman in my line who ever shed her blood or tears into a song. I'm the air, I'm the vessel, and I'm done being scared of the magnificent vessel I can make with my voice, my bind. I sang down a tornado once on the edge of town. I stood on my back porch and I sang a low, slow sound. that said stop, and it wobbled and it turned and it went away. My granny nodded from a rocker at the end of the day. Said about time you owned it, child, the power in your throat. It's been waiting for a woman who wouldn't just take note, but would take charge. So I'm charging for every note I sing. I'm charging this whole world to listen to the truth I bring, wrapped in melody. I'm binding up the hate I see. I'm binding up the loneliness that follows you and me into a package, and I'm singing it away, transmuting pain to sound, letting the bind of my voice echo all around, and heal or reveal or command. Yeah, this microphone is my mojo hand, it's my mojo hand. So let the preachers have their pulpits, so the politicians scheme. I got a pulpit made of maple and a powerful vocal dream to bind this community, to bind this broken land with a hook and a verse that everybody understands in their gut, in their soul, where the real magic lies, not in stars or in planets, but in human cries and joys. Set to music given force by my will. My voice is the binding, it's anointed to fulfill a purpose greater than me. Can you feel it in the air? The bind is getting stronger, it's a weight we all can share and be lifted by. This microphone is my mojo hand, my voice is the mighty band of this devil land. I sing the blues, but the blues ain't got me down. They're my power, my crown, my sound that bends the night, bends the day, bends the lover and the foe. Listen to me now and feel the bun start to grow in your heart, in your mind. You are bound, you are free by the voice and the song that is me. My voice is the binding, the binding is your lover. Power voice storming, gently she do my voice. My voice. Yeah, my voice. The bind, amen. The girls in town are wearing colors bright as Newman dimes, pink as cotton candy and green as limes. They chase the latest fashion, a frantic flashy race, but I find my satisfaction at a slower, gentler pace, in the tones that time has painted on the things that know the years. The fading blue of overalls washed soft by joys and tears, and the gray of a weathered picket, the brown of a fallen leaf. There's a story in those colors, a sweet and deep relief from the screaming. My favorite hue is fading blue. It's the color of the truth after the dream is through. It's honest, it's been lived in, it's a memory made real. It's the shade of a love that time has learned to seal with a gentle rusted clash. Yeah, rust is a color too. Yeah, rich and reddish brown, it's the crown upon the smokestack, looking down upon the town. It's the blush on the old tin roof after the rain has passed, a beauty that they say won't, but oh, it's built to last, a different kind of lasting. The river's not so fast, it moves in silver browns and greens that are meant to hold and cast a longer shadow. Rust is a color, fading is a style, to walk a dusty mile with a slow and knowing smile is my fashion. I don't need the polish, don't need the sharp edge gleam. I'm studying the poetry of a slow and steady stream in the rust. My hair has got some silver threads, my mirror loves to show the girls would cover them with dye to fight the steady flow of time. But I let them shine like tiny rivers on a map of where I've been, each one a memory, perhaps a worry or a laughter line at matchsticks softly round my eyes. They call them wrinkles, I call them where the sunlight lies. When I smile, they're the crackle glaze upon my own life's face. A finish that you cannot buy in any marketplace or bottle that's earned like the peeling paint on my front door. It shows the layers of the life that I have lived before, and still am living in quieter colors. Yeah, rust is a color too. They're so afraid of weathering, of any sign of wear. They sand and scrub and paint it out as if it were a scare, a monster. But weathering is just a conversation slow between a thing and all the winds and rains that come and go. It's a history written in patina, in tarnish, in dust, in the quiet, graceful, beautiful, inevitable rust that comes to everything that's real. I choose to be real, to wear my fading blues and let my rusted feelings feel without apology. So let them all learn neon, let them have their blinding white. I'll take the mossy green of stone and soft declining light. I'll take the sunset ochre on a barn that's seen its day. There's more truth in that fading than in all their bright array. Rust is a color too, and it's the one I wear the best, a testament to survive in every single hard good test, with grace and fading blue and silver and rust. Rust. True. My color through and through. You see a pretty streamlet, all it dance with sparkling light. It's busy and it's bubbly and it's bravely burning bright. But that's for youth, for mountain tops, for places high and thin. My river, the old man, he doesn't sparkle, he just lets the light in, and holds it deep and brown and slow. He reflects the sky, the gray, the blue, the sunset fire, as he goes rolling by. Without a hurry, his surface isn't flashy, it is wise and still. And what it shows is deeper than a quick photogenic thrill. A splash in the river doesn't sparkle, it reflects. It gathers all the colors of the world with calm respects for what has been the muddy gold, the willow green profound, the steely gray of common storm that doesn't make a sound. Upon his face he just absorbs and carries on like me. My surface ain't for sparkling, it's for quiet clarity, to reflect a life well lived. And rust is a color too down in his deep, slow heart, on old submerged machinery, playing a forgotten part. In his story, it's a rich, slow brown, a patient, deep maroon. It doesn't scream for notice underneath the sun or moon. It just exists as part of things, as part of the slow flow. That's how I want my years to show. Not a brilliant, frantic glow, but a deep reflection of love and loss and days gone by. In the quiet water of my unafraid eye, that doesn't shy from tarnish or from silver or from rust, from the beautiful accumulation of inevitable dust that makes a patina a finish on the soul. They want their faces smooth as pebbles in a tumbler spin. They wanna look just like the girl that they have always been. But a face that reflects a life as contours has a map of smiles that lasted hours of tears, took a nap upon the cheek and left a trail. It has a history. It's not a blank and shiny page, it's a lived-in poetry in flesh. My hands are veined with blue and spotted with the sun. They've made it dough and soothed the brow when all was said and done. And I said they're not pretty in the magazine to find, but they are beautiful to me for the life they have entwined and held. They're weathered like the riverbank, like the rusty hull of a boat that's seen 1,000 trips when the water was full. And when it wasn't, and rust is a color too. Is a color too down and is deep, slow, hard on old submerged machinery, playing a forgotten part. In his story, it's a rich, slow brown, a patient, deep maroon. It doesn't scream for notice underneath the sun or moon. Let the sparkling streams rush downward to the sea so fast they're blind. I am the delta, I am slow, I am the patient kind of beauty. I gather silt, I gather shadow, I gather years. I reflect the clouds of sorrow and I reflect the cheers that echo from the bank. I hold it all and grow more deep, while sparkling things just disappear into a frantic sleep of not remembering. I remember in my brown, my gray, my rust, in the slow, short, certain, beautiful, accumulating dust of my being. I am the river out of shape, so honor the rust, respect the fading. Ooh, the river doesn't sparkle, and that's the truth, so true. Becomes more, that's the core of what a life is for. Not to stay shiny, but to gain depth and tone, to stand weathered and true, and you to be alone in your beauty. Your rusty fade into beauty. It's your solemn, your sacred, your aging duty to wear rust as a crown. Reflect deep, rust, sleep, river, giver, color, rust. You see me on my porch at midnight, staring at the black. You think, poor thing, she's lonely, looking for what she lacks. In company you call out, ain't you scared out here alone? In the dark can hide a multitude of troubles, child, be known. But you don't understand, my eyes are adjusting just fine to a vision more profound and subtle than a daytime shine could ever offer. I'm not looking for anything out here, I'm looking at the nothing which makes everything more clear. And precious the shape of the shed against a lesser black of sky, the way the moss hang certain where the river I can see it all because the night is my master and he's taught my pupils more than just to widen. They've been freshly caught and retrained to see the texture of the shadows, not just the pit, to see the movement in the stillness, bit by lovely bit. That's my practice. Yeah, my eyes are adjusting just fine. Thank you for your care, but I'm an apprentice to the night, and I've got work to do there. In the curriculum of quiet and the study of the breeze, he's teaching me to navigate the spaces between the trees. By the sound they don't make, he's teaching me the names of shades of black, midnight inkwell, raven's wing, and how to find the track home through any of them. So don't bring me your lantern's glare, it only blinds me to the lessons waiting in the air. All around us I'm learning to see with my hands, with my ears, conquering imaginary daylight-fed fears, one night class at a time. You think I'm in the darkness, I'm swimming in a sea of information that the bustling daylight cannot see or appreciate. I can hear a neighbor's argument a mile away, not the words, the tone, the crack of a hawk gone astray. In the stillness I can smell the rain before it ever falls, a certain shift in the perfume that the night air calls. To those who listen, these are my subjects, these are my exams. The night doesn't give out grades, he just helps me understand the fabric of the world when the loud dye has been rinsed out, leaving only the true weave without a single doubt of its pattern. And I'm learning it thread by thread. Yeah, my eyes are adjusting just fine. You pity me, my solitude, my empty moonlit chair, but I am in a classroom that is vast and full and fair, beyond your reckoning while you toss in anxious sleep, worried about the daylight troubles that you have to keep. At bay tomorrow I am at my desk, a sky's my slate, learning peace, learning patience, learning how to wait, and listen and see, really see for the first time in my life, without the harsh and judgmental scrutinizing light of the sun or of society. It's just me and the night, and a million tiny teachers in the soft celestial light that's always there if you just let your eyes adjust. So save your lantern, save your worries, save your daytime frantic mind. I'm on a different schedule of a different older kind. My eyes are adjusting to the beauty of the deep, to the promises the night intends for me to keep. When I'm done with my apprenticeship, I'll be a guide for all the fearful souls with night knowledge deep inside. For now I study in the dark, which is so very, very light, when you're an apprentice to the night. Adjusting, seeing, being. The new house down the road has got a swing of powder-coated steel. It shines like a diamond, I suppose it's how the new folks feel. A swing should make a sound, a song, a slow and steady creak, like a heartbeat of the homestead, speaking low and speaking meek. Of all the conversations had while watching fireflies, of all the lazy evenings under summer shallow skies, this porch swing sings a weathered song in peeling forest green. Its chains are kissed with orange rust, the loveliest I've seen. It groans a little on the downswing, sighs upon the rise. It's got 1,000 stories whispered to the twilight skies. In its melody you can't buy that, you have to earn that tune through years of gentle rocking beneath a honeymoon or a sorrowful one. I'm learning that rust is a color too, a medal on the chest of things that did their living and earned a little rest from perfection. Peeling pain is just a map of sunny days, and rainy ones a chronicle in 100 subtle ways of time's passage in my own skin. It's getting soft and thin like parchment on an old love letter, letting the light in from within. I don't fight it, I polish it with lotion and with lavish my own patina, my own photograph in living texture. Yeah, rust is a color, fading is a state of being truly beautiful before it is too late to appreciate the change. They're tearing down the old gin house to put up something slick and glass. They say it's progress, but the progress I'm afraid will pass right over what was good. The rusty bolts, the fading sign held a kind of honest magic, a dignified design, a function. Now it's all just shiny with no history to tell, no ghosts of cotton pickers, no familiar dusty smell of work and sweat. They want the world to look just born and new, but I find comfort in the things that have seen a thing or two and lived to tell this weathered swing, this cracked clay pot. They have a soul, a new thing, bless its heart, it has not yet earned one. I'm learning that rust is a color too. I'm learning that rust is a color too. Maybe life is not about the staying bright and bold. Maybe it's about the gentle story that is told in the quiet fading, in the gracious slow descent, in knowing that the brightest fire to a soft glow will be bent in time, and that soft glow is what lights the deepest night, not the blinding, scary, brand new artificial light of fear, fear of age, fear of mark, fear of rust. But rust is just a loving, gentle reddish dust that time lays down like a blanket on the tired and the true, like the silver in my hair and the fading in my blue denim heart. So swing on, weathered porch swing, sing your creaky lovely song. The world may want it silent, but you know that's wrong. Rust is a color, peeling is a badge, fading is a style. To walk the second half of life with a slow and knowing smile is a victory over the silly, frantic race. To live with grace in a weathered, beautiful silver and fading blue. Me and you. Creek side, rust sky, weathered song, long, The schoolhouse bell don't ring for me. I've got no parchment scroll. My alma mater's velvety, and it has taken toll. And payment in the currency of patience and of trust. But I have nearly finished, and I feel the subtle rustle of a different robe. A graduation gown of indigo is waiting for me in the closet where the soft winds blow. From the west the night, my master says my studies are near done. He's taught me all he can by walking neath the hidden sun. Stars, he taught me how to read the braille of bark on trees, how to understand the language of the nighttime breeze. In the river grass, he taught me how to find my way back home, by the temperature of shadows, by the scent of loam. In a certain band, he taught me that the silence has a song, a low and steady rhythm that the frightened get all wrong. As emptiness, its fullness of a different deep degree. Soon I'll wear my graduation gown of indigo, the final color that a night apprentice gets to know, before she's a master of the shadows and in the deep, before the lessons that she learned are hers to hold and keep and teach. Perhaps the night is handing me my degree in nocturnal navigation and deep listening, you see, with honors in star mapping and shadow differentiation. I stand before the cosmos in quiet exultation. At my night school graduation, no cap to throw, just sky. No diploma, but the knowing in my unafraid eye that has seen the dark and loved it. I'll miss my nightly lessons, the patient silent drills of standing still until the separate tiny nighttime thrills became a symphony. I'll miss the wayhead point with just a shift in the wind to show me where a dream was set adrift and needed catching. I'll miss the homework of just being still and letting the night pour his knowledge in against my will. At first and with a thirst, but a master knows when the pupil's prime is ripe, and it's time for her to make her own nighttime, her own darkness, to become a source of that same cool, calm grace for someone else who's stumbling in some other brighter place and needs a night. Soon I'll wear my graduation gown of indigo. Ooh. What What's next for a graduate of the evening? What's my call? Perhaps to be a midwife for the souls who fear the fall of darkness, to take their hand and say the light's not gone, it's changed. Your eyes will adjust, the lesson's just begun. Come be an apprentice, let the night teach you to see the constellated beauty of what you were meant to be. When the glare's removed, that'll be my service, my repaid debt to the master who saw in me a pupil he could get. To understand, to trade my fear for fascination pure, to see the night not as an end, but as a door to a different sight. So bring the gown of indigo, the finest ever seen. I earned it in the darkness, in the realm of what I dream. And now know I am a graduate of night. My soul is brained with the stars, my fear is disdained. I can walk any shadow, I can read any dark. I hear the night's wisdom like an antenna spark that will light my way forward as I now beacon. A teacher in the toilet till my own final sun sets graduation gown indigo night. My master, my turn to share the light that is found in the dark. Go, indigo, night. Go, apprentice, no more master of the floor of heaven in the core of night. My sight is clear. Good night, my dear master, and thank you. I don't need to shout it from the rafters, don't need to scream and cry. The strongest bind I ever cast was just a weighted sigh. In the right ear, at the right time, a whisper can topple a king. A hum can make the barren ground remember how to spring. To life I found this out by accident when I was just a child. I'd sing to make my mama smile when she was riled and tired, and she'd relax her shoulders, lose their knots. I thought it was my love that did it all, the silly childish thoughts of a daughter. But then I sang at a dog that barked all night, a simple little melody, not me, not trying to fight. And he lay down and slept, and I felt a chill, not from the air, from inside a knowledge, a burden, a secret I must bear with great care. My voice is the bind, even the quietest part. My voice is the bind, it's a needle and it's the thread, it's the thing that's been unsaid, and the thing that must be said. To mend or to unravel, I can undo a man's best lie with just a question in tone on a single word. Oh, why? I can make a truth so loud it drowns out any shout. By singing it so softly there can be no doubt it's real. It's a terrifying subtlety. There's power in my throat. The most potent notes I sing are often the quietest note. I have a pitch, a whisper topples, a murmur can rebuild, and I live in constant fear of the damage I've unskilled or skilled with my voice. I sang a lullaby to a dying man to ease his way across, but the tune held on too tightly, became a temporary boss of his spirit. He lingered for a week in a peaceful twilight haze, not living, not dying, just caught in my gentle phrase. I had to sing a release, a discord sharp and clear, to cut the bind I'd made, to let him disappear as he was meant to. I cried for days. Of power to hold life is a horrible responsibility, a sharpened psychic knife in your own gut. Since then I measure every breath I use in song. Is it a blessing or is it subtle abuse of the natural order? I don't know, I just know the bind is there, in my whisper, in my silence, even in the careful care I take to not singing. My voice is the bind. Sometimes I think I should be mute, take a vow of silence pure. Let the world spin on its axis, let the pain and joy endure, without my interference. But the song, it wants out, it needs, it builds inside me like a storm. It plants its tiny seeds of melody in my dreams, and if I don't let it free, I fear it'll break me from the inside, you see. So I sing softly, carefully, with intention, with dread, weaving binds of comfort or of truth around the head and the heart of anyone who listens, even you right now. Are you feeling calmer or more agitated? How does my voice affect you, even on this page in thought? The bind is in the idea, the magic can't be caught or stopped. My voice is the bind, 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 my voice is the bind. It's a needle and it's a thread. You can keep your paper maps with the roads and ink so fine. My navigation's written in a more eternal line of light. I'm learning the stars by heart, their names and their design. How Orion tips his hat as the evening doth decline. Over the cypress, how the dipper pours its endless cool advice down on the sleepy river. Once or maybe twice a night, the night is my master in this astronomy. He doesn't give me telescopes, he gives the eyes to see the connections. He says, forget the names they wrote in books, learn the patterns for yourself in the river's secret nooks and crannies of the sky. So I sit on my back step and I let the blackness settle, the blanket I accept with gratitude. And one by one my teachers all appear, pinpricks in the velvet, chasing away the fear of getting lost. I'm mapping heaven on the inside of my mind, so no matter where I wander, my true north I will find by memory of starlight. As an apprentice to the night, I'm studying the deep. The lessons are for speaking, they're for my soul to keep. In silence he teaches me to hear the space between the sounds, the hum of the world turning on its ancient greasy rounds that you can't hear by day. He shows me how a single breeze has a different conversation with the oak than with the peas in the garden. And most of all, he's teaching me to trust my own 2 feet, to find the way through darkness and through dust without a lantern's light. I'm learning stars by heart, so even in the blackest hour I'll know my part in the cosmos. A small night taught woman, sure and slow. get disoriented when the power lines go down. They fumble for a flashlight with a panic, worried frown. I just step outside and breathe and let my vision adjust to the truth. There's always enough light in the heavenly dust that's sprinkled up above and in the memory of my skin, of where the porch post is and where the old gate's been for 50 years. The night taught me that landmarks aren't for eyes, they're for the bodies. Knowledge under changing skies. I know the dip in the path by the shift in my hip. I know the turn to the creek by the cool on my lip of the air. That's my night school diploma, AP at She and Feel, and knowing what is real when there's nothing to reveal but the truth of dark. As an apprentice to the night, as an apprentice to the night. Sometimes I think he's teaching me for a bigger test, for the final long and quiet darkness where we all must rest. Without a map, he's training me now, so I won't be afraid when the last light fades and the final star is laid to rest. I'll know the territory, I'll know how to go by the feel of the unseen path, by the inner glow that he's kindling in me now. The glow of night knowledge, the peace of dark familiarity, the sacred pledge between a student and her master of the moon. Graduation day is coming all too soon, but until then, so let the sun have its scholars, its writers of the day. I'm getting my education in a different, deeper way. I'm learning the stars by heart, I'm learning the song of the loom. I'm an apprentice to the night, and I'll graduate soon to be a master of the calm, a doctor of the deep, while all the day folk are at home pretending just to sleep. I'm awake and learning. Star, heart, chart, night. That old whirly silken whale, it can spin a pretty tune, but it's just mechanics, honey, underneath a neon moon. When I step to the microphone, the very dust takes heat. The whiskey in the bottle knows it's time to plant a seed of something more. The jukebox sings, but I command the molecules to gather and to shift across the land of this room. I can make a man forget his own address with a certain curl of phrasing, a calculated caress of a vowel. I can make a woman see her worth anew with a bridge that tells a story that she knows is downright true. Even if I made it up right, then it's the truth of sound. My voice is the bind that turns this grimy beer-stung ground into a temple for a moment, then the spell breaks and it's just a bar again, and I'm a woman with a throat of dust and power. My voice is the bind, it can stitch a wound or start a war. I can sing the roaches from the kitchen out the back screen door. I can hum a lullaby that'll make the river slow. I know these things, and because I know them, don't you know? I must be careful, I could clear this room with just one scream. such longing, you think you lost your dream. In another lifetime, it's a weapon and a bomb, a hurricane in the quiet, devastating calm. And it's I, the jukebox sings, I conduct, I weave, and every single person here is gonna have to leave, changed a little by the bind of my song. I sang at a wedding once, a simple happy tune, but I felt the bitterness, a growing dark typhoon from the mother of the groom. So I shifted key, just like sang a note of reconciliation into the night. And she wept and hugged the bride, and nobody knew why except me. I felt the bind take hold, a suture in the sky of that family. It held its holding still, that's the way I carry, not just singing for a dollar, for a fate of applause. I'm singing for the balance, for the slight unseen repair of the world's broken heart. And it's more than I can bear sometimes to know that this gift, this command is mine. And if I use it wrong, the fault is in the design of my own soul. My voice is the bind, 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 my voice is the bind. They call it soul, they call it feeling, they call it art. I call it architecture of the human breaking heart. I'm a builder with my larynx, a mason with my breath. I can construct a prison, or I can cheat a death of the spirit with the melody, eternal lift the fall. It's a terrifying freedom, having answer to no call but my own. And the song tells me what it needs to do. And I'm the vessel, planting invisible seeds with my voice. So listen to the jukebox if you want something safe. I'm here to sing the things that make the silent world untied. At the seams, my voice is the band that holds it back together, that brings the stormy weather or the clearest, bluest weapon into your soul. I command it with the note, with the phrase. I'm not just a slim man in these stomped on dusty days. I'm a conjurer woman with a microphone for a wand. And this song is the bind, and you're the bound. Bound by the sound, my voice, the bind. Find your way home alone with my song in your head. Yeah. The day folk need their street lamps, their neon and their sun. They stumble when the color from the tired world is spun away, but I am different. I've enrolled in a different class, where the shadows are the textbooks spread out on the grass of midnight. The dark is my primer, the first thing I'll learn to let my eyes stop searching for a candle's faint concern and start to feel the space instead. The shapes are soft and deep, the secrets that the daylight was too busy loud to keep are whispered. Here I am, an apprentice to the night, and my tuition's paid in patience and losing of the fright that holds the day full captive. I'm learning how to see with the back of my neck, with the roots of the tree of my soul. Yeah, the dark is my primer, the moon is my pen. I'm taking notes on silence over and over again. The night is my master, a patient silent guide, teaching me the maps the constellations hide. In plain sight, he teaches me to hear the cricket song, not as noise, but as the rhythm where the lonely souls belong to something. He teaches me to walk without a sound, to feel the earth's own heartbeat in the cool and dew-soaked ground. Beneath my feet, I'm just an apprentice, but I'm learning fast how to make this velvet darkness beautifully last inside my mind, even at noon. My classmates are the owls, the possum and the fox. We studied the philosophy of unlocking locks. So without a key, we learned the grammar of the rustling leaves, the syntax of the river as it gently takes its ease. Through the bank, we parse the sentences that fireflies write in dashes on the blackboard of the infinite deep night. It's a language without words, but it's clear as it can be to a willing student like me. The night he grades me not on tests or memory, but on how much fear I forgot and how much wonder I've let in to fill the empty space. He's sculpting my perception with this cool and starlit grace. And it's quiet, the dark is my primer, the moon is my penmer, the moon is my pen, moon is my pen. People think I'm lonely out here in the black. They don't understand the riches that I'm getting back in exchange for my surrender, for my willingness to be blank like a page for the night to write on me his lessons in indigo and silver in the space between, and learning that the prettiest things are often never seen with the look in eye, but felt or heard in the absence of sound. That's the doctorate I'm working toward on this holy ground of darkness. I'm the night's apprentice, forever in his debt, for teaching me a kinder, deeper alphabet to read my life by. So let the day have its glory, its noise, its blinding show. I've got my primer of darkness and my moon pen, don't you know? And I'm studying, I'm learning, I'm growing in the black, finding colors in the void. The daylight's cruel attack can never bleach away. The dark is my primer, the night is my master, and I couldn't be finer in my studies. Lesson 1: be still.